Hi there. Are you looking to experience more love, more peace, and more abundance in your life? Do you want to wake up each day with greater purpose and feel more fulfilled? If you are, then this is the place for you. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, North Jersey. Over the past 2 decades, our open and affirming community has created a safe space for all to come and be uplifted. I hope you enjoy watching, and if you like what you see, please visit us at cslnj.org.
The all ineffable, omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent one, in which all things live and move and have their being. One, this one presence that I call God, also by all the names which is known and called, such as the Alpha and the Omega, with no beginning and no end. I call on the presence of this one to enter here where you already abide, to hover over and immerse us in your love, because love is what you are. What I know is that I am one with this unknowable one, which cannot be named or measured or seen or touched or perceived, yet it is all there is. I know that the ultimate source is within me. It is within each of us. It expresses itself through and as me, through and as you. It is creating me out of itself. And so I speak my word, knowing it to be the law whereunto it is spoken from this power for this present moment. I welcome this power and presence. Breathe on me, Spirit of the living God. Fall fresh on me right now. Take me, mold me, fill me, use me, speak through me, love through me. Bring a word for your people through the vessel of this body. It is from this power within me that I deny anything that might try to dim this light, because I am one with the one and there is no opposition. So right now I am overflowing with gratitude for this day. I am grateful for the opportunity to speak this morning. I'm grateful for this beloved community called the Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey. Bless each one of us, from our spiritual director, Neil, to the board, the committees, the volunteers, and the members. Bless this country as we stand in the shadow of celebrating 250 years of a great experiment in democracy that took a series of wrong turns. Bless we the people and give each the strength to exercise that ability to alter or abolish whatever has become destructive to the will of the people. With abundant joy and gratitude, I release this word into the perfect law, knowing all that has been prayed has already been delivered. As I allow, God becomes, and so it is. Oh, so I'm so happy to be here. But this was, as Neil mentioned earlier, a little bit of a last minute assignment. I found out on Thursday night that I would be speaking today. So I am begging your indulgence. I was thinking as I was writing that back in seminary, my hermeneutics professor told us on more than one occasion to keep a sermon in your back pocket in case you're called upon at a moment's notice to give a talk. Did I heed their advice? I did not. So here we are with me pulling a talk out of thin air, but I'm grateful to have been given a theme that was designed for me. So I'm asking if it's okay if I'm just raw and real with you on this morning. This is not as polished as I would like, but it will be heartfelt and sincere. So today I will be speaking on the topic of creative confidence, living as the artist of your reality. So let's get into it. So I am going to talk about how you're already the artist, using doubt as a creative companion and your life as your masterpiece. So I'm going to start with a little bit of story time. So as a painter, I could easily get lost in the painting process. I don't know if you've ever worked on a painting, but it would only take a few minutes of painting for me to slip into a flow state where I would paint and paint for hours on end. I would not stop to eat or drink or sometimes even use the bathroom. Artists crave and envy that slipping into that flow state because that's often where we push our edges and create unexpected results in our work. The creative part of the brain just kind of kicks in and takes over, and time just flies. This is the creative side of being moving through your life on autopilot. But isn't that how life goes? We wake up every day and move through our lives in more the mechanical side of autopilot, right? We bathe, we brush our teeth in exactly the same way. We get dressed in habitual patterns. We tell the same 3 or 4 stories about who we are and what's possible. And every time we do that, it sort of hardens like concrete, and the neural pathways in our brain solidify. But our life is a canvas, and we are unwittingly smearing it with paint that is creating an image that we may or may not like. As we know from this teaching, every decision, every thought, every word and action makes a mark on the canvas of your life. So there comes a time when you stop, you step back, brush in hand, and you assess the canvas. Is it coming out the way you'd hoped, or is it a muddy mess? Is it just smeared paint and random marks? This is what we're going to be talking about this morning. The question is not whether you're an artist, because you already are one in this moment. You've been painting on this canvas, which you call your life, the whole time. So the question I want you to ask yourself is, am I making this masterpiece intentionally, or just haphazardly letting the paint hit the canvas? Are you living as the artist of your reality? Which brings me to my first point, which is you are already the artist. The question is only whether you're painting consciously. The world is nothing, the man is all. In yourself is the law of all nature. That's Ralph Waldo Emerson from his speech, The American Scholar. Emerson is talking about your capability to shape your surroundings with your mental faculties. The law of nature he's talking about is the law of mind. Your life isn't happening to you, it's an expression of you. Every one of us is creating our reality through habitual thought. My intention today is not to encourage you to take up a new creative habit, but instead, I'm here to encourage you to realize that you're already doing it so you can pick up that brush and wield it with purpose. In this teaching, we understand already that our thoughts create our reality, right? So there's no news flashes here, but sometimes we just need little reminders to get us back on track with our spiritual practices. So creative confidence is not a feeling, it's working with the law. If all cause is existent in spirit, and if the law which executes the volition of spirit is entirely subconscious or subjective to the will of spirit, and if body is only an effect, it follows that both cause and effect are spiritual. Involved within the seed, which the spirit drops into the creative medium, everything necessary to unfold the seed is everything necessary to unfold the seed into form. This is why spirit never thinks of methods or processes. For that which the spirit involves must evolve. That is from the Science of Mind. And Ernest Holmes reminds us here that mind is a creative medium responding to conviction. Creative confidence is not a personality trait, as I said earlier, but it's the natural result of consistently backing your word with belief. And we talk about that all the time here. We've talked about that already this morning. The same way an artist trusts a stroke because they've already made it 1,000 times before. So the blank canvas of our life is brimming with potential. When I rip the plastic off a new canvas and prop it up on an easel, staring back at that blank space can sometimes feel intimidating. So to sort of cut that terrifying and potentially paralyzing feeling, to stop it in its tracks, I developed the habit of writing. I developed the practice of writing on the blank canvas. So I'd take a bit of charcoal and I'd write affirmations, prayers, and mantras. And that sort of served two purposes. One, it gave the canvas some positive energy. And two, it created momentum that got me into the creative groove. One of my favorite New Thought authors, Emma Curtis Hopkins, wrote of the original substance, which is spirit, pouring through each of us as unique, unrepeatable expression. In How to Obtain Your Good, Hopkins said, all the substance out of which home and friends and health and prosperity are made is within our minds. It starts from ourselves. This substance is the good that is for us. When we know that the good that is for us by divine right is the real and true substance of which all things are made, we speak the truth about it and declare that the good that is for us is substance. This substance never changes. It is indestructible. It is the original substance, which, if we speak the truth about it, will fill our hearts and minds with satisfaction. Unchangeable, reliable, eternal, steadfast substance. That's Emma Curtis Hopkins. So your life, your experience of being in a body on this earth at this specific time in history affords you unfettered access to this original substance in unlimited supply in every minute of your life. Are you living as the artist of your reality? And this brings me to my second point, which is let us consider doubt as a creative companion. The Buddha said, doubt everything, find your own light. I consider doubt, self-criticism, and creativity blocks the price of admission when it comes to being an artist. Does this sound familiar? You're working on a project such as a painting or a piece of writing. You get partway through it, and then that pesky voice of the inner critic pipes up and tells you that's trash and that you should quit while you're ahead. So you do. Once, when I was working on a new painting, I faced a creative crisis. This piece was my first foray into abstraction. My previous paintings had all been representational subjects, mostly portraits and florals. I love to make pretty paintings and that people can recognize, right? But I also love abstract art, and I wanted to try my hand at this new genre for me, but it just felt intimidating. I was working on the largest canvas I'd ever worked on so far, a big 36-inch square. I would work on it, and then I would set it aside and work on other paintings. And then I'd try again. I'd paint over some of the previous work and try something else. It seemed that no matter what I tried, I could not get into a groove with this painting. So I put it away. I just leaned it against the wall in my painting area, and I was filled with doubt as to whether I'd get a handle on developing an abstract style of my own. Then, one day, the painting leaning against the wall caught my eye. I picked it up, and while I was carrying it to the easel, I turned it 90 degrees on a whim. Just turning the image and changing the perspective gave me a whole new path into that painting. So I went and mixed up some colors and finally found my way to that painting. And today it's one of the paintings of mine that gets the most compliments. Unfortunately, doubt like I experienced killed off many creative projects. So the next time you're facing doubt in whether it's a creative project or in your life, you can stop and interrogate that internal criticism. Put that project down and return to it with fresh eyes, and you're likely to find that it wasn't as bad as you imagined. I would say ask for support if a fresh set of eyes would help give you a new perspective on your work and on your life, like working with a practitioner, working with a therapist. Asking for support is a beautiful thing that can really help you, work your way out of any kind of a situation. So doubt is almost always, I should say, almost always going to creep in, whether you're creating your life or a painting. It is in the overcoming of the doubt that you gain creative confidence and strength. Because even professional artists must deal with doubt. The presence of doubt in your creative endeavors is actually evidence of your commitment to the process. Creative confidence in life and art comes from seeing doubt as a companion rather than as a challenger. I say, make that doubt earn its keep. So, my final point is this: your life is your masterpiece. I'm going to call on Neville Goddard that Brian was speaking about before. I also love his work. Neville Goddard talked about living in the end, a practice of visualizing and mentally embodying the desired reality. The science of mind teaches that creative medium is the one mind. Your life, your wonderful human imagination, as Goddard would say, holds the seed of your masterpiece. Emma Curtis Hopkins, the teacher of teachers who taught at Ernest Holmes, spoke of the unchangeable, reliable, original substance, which is spirit, which is in the one mind. So, right now, you, my friend, are living and moving and thinking and planning and loving in that one universal, unlimited, all encompassing mind, because there's only one. And I have been just as guilty of forgetting about that incredible powder keg of potential that I'm walking around with inside of me. It's inside of you too. We tap into this power when we speak a spiritual mind treatment with powerful conviction and unwavering knowledge and confidence in the outcome. We tap into this power in silence through meditation when we connect to our source, just like we did this morning in that beautiful meditation. We tap into this power when we embody and exemplify the principles that we read about, as Jessie was mentioning in her beautiful song. So the artist doesn't wait for inspiration to feel confident before making a mark. They just make the mark, and the confidence comes as you are doing it. Like the experience that I had with that painting. I had no idea what I was doing with that paintbrush in my hand. I made a start, I doubted, I retreated, and then I came back. I decided to trust the process, and I allowed that creative impulse to express itself through me, and we co-created something amazing. So let me ask you something this one more time. How might you conduct your life if every decision you made, every word and action would show up as visible marks on the canvas of your life? Well, guess what? It already does. Are your habits those that you would choose on purpose? Are your relationships what you'd like them to be? Are you doing the work you came here to do? The circumstances of our lives reflect our thinking, our words, and our actions. When you change the inputs, your life begins to reflect it. Are you living as the artist of your reality? So my closing invitation, I invite you to think and act from the identity of the artist of my life, and do it before you feel fully qualified for the title. And again, I'm not telling you to make art, but rather be more conscious and intentional about how you are already creating the wonderful masterpiece of your life. So I'm going to close with the treatment. I'm going to take a breath. Oh, so I'm so grateful for this life. I'm grateful for breath and for strength and for vitality. I'm grateful to know that the one power and presence which created all things is within me. It sees me. It loves me. It is co-creating this life with me. And I'm grateful to know that when this amazing, powerful source of all there is looks at the canvas of my life, it sees a masterpiece. When it looks at the canvas of your life, it sees a beautiful masterpiece. And so I breathe And I remind myself to look upon myself the way that the all, the ultimate source, looks on me. I am grateful for this opportunity to live this life, to breathe, to interact with the people that I love. I'm grateful for this beautiful, beloved community that embraces me and supports me and sees me. I'm grateful for this teaching that reminds me that the spirit of the one that created all things is inside of me. It is not afar off, and it is not pointing a finger at me, but it is embracing me with love. So I bless this day. I bless each one of us. I bless the Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey. And I release this word into the perfect law, knowing all that I've prayed has been delivered with joy and happiness and peace. I allow it to be so, and so it is. Amen.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Sing with me. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you, Jesse. Beautiful again. And thank you, Reverend Evelyn, for an inspiring talk and, a very clear illustration of creating a life, creating what we want to be. So, appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. We are blessed. We are so blessed in this community, and so blessed in so many ways individually as well. And there's just an enormous gratitude that I have for that, and I think we all have for that. That what has been built here by people that came before us is something tremendous, and in that gratefulness, it was made possible because of all the work and all the help of everyone in this community. And we'd like to see that continue. So, with a wonderful gratitude for that in the past, and a desire to keep it going for another 25 years, please say along with me the conscious giving affirmation, which is in your chat. I bless this gift that I give today. I give this gift from my heart, and I give it mindfully. May my gift go further to heal, prosper, and bless this center and all who enter. I accept all good that comes as a result of this flow, knowing that it returns to me, multiplied abundantly, and so it is. And so They are all the different ways that you are able to help us financially listed there. And if there's any other way you'd like to serve the community, we're certainly open to having people work with us in roles of volunteers, of hospitality or outreach, or a lot of different ways. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next week we will be in person, and we will be on Zoom as well. And our speaker is going to be a totally new speaker for us. Our speaker is going to be Zulma Gonzalez. Zulma is a practitioner from the Center of Peace down in Philadelphia, and she has been with us for a couple of years, I would say, at least in terms of our Psalm Sunday. She's there every Psalm Sunday. So it'll be wonderful to have her come up. She's going to be there in person. So come out in person. See Zuma in person next week on the 12th. Her title is Loving the Life I Am. We also have, and I did not take a sheet out on it yet. Let me get a sheet here. Michelle's Conscious Living Project. This is a 10-week experience designed to invite participants to become more conscious of the small daily habits that influence peace, relationships, emotional well-being, and clarity. That starts on July 22nd. It's a 10-week program, and this is a way of getting those small, recognizing and being conscious of those small habits affecting your life. So you want to put that down too and register for that class. We are now in July, and we just finished the first week of July. Thank you, Reverend Evelyn, for your talk today. As I said, next week we have Zuma Gonzalez. After that, we'll have David Alexander coming back to us on the 19th from the West Coast, and he's always got something inspiring to say and a great talk to give us. So David will be here on July 19th. And then a new speaker for July 26th, somebody we're not familiar with, Tony Hamilton, will be there in person. And we'll get to know Tony a little bit better too. You know, it's only been 20 years or so. What can we say? And hers is going to be, let me see if I can wrap my mind around this, embodying my artistry. So thank you, everyone. Appreciate everyone's contribution. From here, we go to a closing song. So, Jesse, please.
Hello again.
Lead us.
This is a song about following your own beat of your own drum. You stumbled home and you don't know what to do. It was your last day working there. You've been waiting on this moment for years, and now it's finally here. The last time that the world was so open was when you were 21. Now you're watching the chapter close. You see the infinite possibilities of the next one. It can be so relieving. Moments like this, bittersweet sense of leaving. You look around at your messy apartment and think, maybe I should clean. No, then instead you go back to bed, 'cause now you've got time for everything. So go on and take your liberty. Go on and travel the world. Go on and take your liberty. Set your soul loose on the open road. Wake up early just to catch the sunrise, or be reminded of the purpose of being alive. Feel that sweet sense of freedom, when the pieces and the parts of who you really are start marching to the beat of your drum. Tick-tock goes the desperate clock, hoping it still has your life by the emancipated from the system in which your days are dictated by the hands on the wall. You scoot and shuffle past the bathroom mirror, you notice the chains are missing from your legs, but your uniform and your enslaved has been traded for dancing naked while making bacon and eggs, baby. Better get used to receiving the days as a gift. Better get busy believing this kind of bliss. So go out and take your liberty, go on and travel the world. Go out and take your liberty, set your soul loose on the open road. Wake up early just to catch the sunrise, or be reminded of the purpose of being alive. Feel that sweet sense of freedom when the pieces and the parts of who you really are start marching to the beat of your drum. Bum bum, ba-da bum, ba-dum, to the beat of your drum. Bum bum, ba-da bum, ba-dum. We got to wake up to our eternal creative power. Move past the doubt, 'cause we know that we've got it all inside. Moving to the beat, moving to the beat, moving to the beat, beat, beat of your drum. Moving to the beat, moving to the beat, moving to the beat, beat, beat of your drum. Moving to the beat, moving to the beat, moving to the beat, beat, beat of your drum. Living to the beat, I'm living to the beat, living to the beat, 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 to the beat of your drum.
Oh, yeah. Now that's what you want to see live, August 30th. That's why we're having her come here. That's an energy that it's Jesse energy is what it is, and make sure you put it on your calendar for August 30th, not just for the celebration, but for the house concert as well, because that's where you're going to hear all the good songs that she wouldn't dare sing in a sanctuary, so
That's
the
true.
juicy stuff. So. All right. Once again, I love all of you very much and appreciate you and so grateful.
At the Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, we believe in empowering individuals to discover their inner strength and their connection to divine life. Through our supportive community, transformative workshops, and uplifting services, we provide a safe space for personal growth and spiritual exploration. Whether you're seeking clarity, healing, or a deeper understanding of life's mysteries, our center offers practical tools and timeless wisdom to help you thrive. Join us in creating a more diverse, compassionate, and kind world. Your world, the way you want to create it.